Hello all, my name is Prabhakar. I'm making a series of videos available to you to learn Amazon Web Services. And in this session, I'm going to talk about Athena and Glue Jobs and S3. Basically, intention of this video is that so if you want to perform some data operations and some analytics, the data which you have stored on S3 with the help of Athena by writing SQL queries and then doing some kind of analytics. So this tutorial is very useful for that. And here is the content for today's session. And I'm going to brief you that exactly what is Athena and GlueJob and S3. And inside a lab, so I'm going to copy one sample CSV file into the S3 bucket, and I will set up and configure the glue jobs in order to create some crawler and the database and the tables. And finally, I will walk you through the Athena operations, so how to extract the data from the S3 by writing a SQL query, and then how to do the various operations like exporting the data. So after applying the filters, and how to maintain the history, how to save the queries. So these are the operations. I will walk you through that. First of all, let's check that, okay, what is Athena? Amazon Athena is an interactive query service that makes it easy to analyze the data in Amazon S3 using a standard SQL. And Athena is a serverless. So there is no infrastructure to manage, and as you pay only for the queries that you run. So based on the number of queries, you have to pay that. And here there are certain conditions are there. So if you execute a query and your query is failed, and you no need to pay for that. And if the query is in progress in between, if you stop that query execution, then again you have to pay for that, and it will consider that, okay, so your full query is got executed, and how much data is processed based on the data processing, so it will charge it accordingly. And Athena works directly with the data stored in S3, and we don't require any special tools in order to configure the Athena in this case. Athena uses Presto, a distributed SQL engine, to run the query. And it also uses the Apache Hive to create or drop and alter the table and the partitions. And Athena partitions I will cover into the next session. And in this session, we will focus on how to extract the data from the S3, and how to perform the SQL operations on top of that. And with the help of Athena, so we can also query on the Redshift operation, and which support JSON and CSV and TSV format, as well as Apache logs also we can put. And one of the advantage on this, let's assume I have 5 TB of data in my S3, and I want to do some analytics on those data, like how many times the data is repeated, how many duplicate entries are there, and how frequently data is changing, and then what is the use of this data. So if I want to do the lot of operations which are there on the data, okay, that is a huge data. So if you write any scripts, like if I use any pandas, or if I use any PySpark, this will take a lot of time consuming, and we have to spend a lot of time, so in order to prepare a script and in order to check the data. And still it is not sure, okay, if you use any custom scripts, and whether you get succeed 100%. But with the help of Athena, so you can write a query on top of huge data, and you can get the details within a few seconds. And coming to the glue job, and this glue job is nothing but where I can create a table, and I can create a schema with the help of data which I have uploaded into the S3. So this AWS Glue is a fully managed extract, transform, and load. It is a ETL service, and that makes it easy for the customers to prepare and load their data for the analytics. You can create and run the ETL job with a few clicks in AWS Management Console. We don't require again any special service in this case. So on the UI itself, you can create tables, and you can link into your S3 accordingly. So, and here, and AWS Glue simply point to your data stored in AWS S3, and AWS Glue discovers your data and stored and associated metadata. So like a table definition and the schema. For example, I have a data. So inside that data, I'm storing a multiple types of data, like I'm storing the strings, and I'm storing the salary, I'm storing the some numbers, Boolean values based on the data type. And so it will automatically detect the metadata on that. and accordingly it will create a table and table schema. So, and one more advantage is that so you can go ahead and then you can modify the schema as per your need. And here, so your data is immediately searchable and queryable and available for the ETL operations. So it is a just in time, so that your customer is continuously pushing the data into the S3, and so in the live operations you can go there, and Athena you can query on top of the live data. So we don't require to wait for that. Okay, it will take a couple of seconds to resync the data, and once the data is copied, then you can go ahead and then you can modify the data, and then you can extract the data from the existing S3. And here I'm also going to use the S3, and this already covered into my previous video, that is Amazon Simple Storage Service. That's why they're calling it as a S3. And this is the storage object, and where I can store the data. And I can store any kind of data as a website data, DB data, or maybe I could store the log data. So here I'm using S3 for storing the CSV file, so that I'm going to link my S3 data to GlueJob for creating the crawlers. Here is a use case which I'm going to walk you through on this. So here Amazon S3, I'm going to store the employee details, okay, where employee name and the city, and at the same time salary of the employee. And inside a Glue, so I'm going to create a crawler here. So with the help of this crawler, so it will crawl the data from the S3, and then accordingly it will create a table schema for me. And Glue data catalog, so where I can define the schema and everything. And once this kind of setup is done, so then I can directly go to Athena, and then I can file a SQL queries for fetching the data. And there is a one more concept called Amazon QuickSight, where I can do the analytics on top of that. So, but in this demo, it is out of scope. So this I will cover into the next demo. So now let's go to the demo part. So how to configure and set up the Athena Glue, and how to perform the Athena operations on top of that. So here is my AWS Management Console. So you can go to the services and click on Athena. Okay. Here is Athena query data in SQL using S3 using SQL. So here, if you see that, okay, I don't have any databases are available here. So first of all, what I'm going to do here, so go to S3 and create a bucket for you, so where you can store the data on top of that. So here I'm creating a bucket. So I'm using the bucket as like Prabhakar, and the demo is my bucket name. Create the bucket, and once the bucket is created, I have created a sample file here. Let's take an example. Here I'm using one more name like Harsha, and she is from again Pune, and the salary is 1234. Okay, so this is how I have created the CSV file, and so you can also keep up to 5 TB of data. That data could be anything. It could be a structured data, or it could be unstructured data. And so here I'm using the 3 columns only: name, city, and salary. And similarly, you can keep some millions of records. On top of millions of records, we can also apply the query on that. So now I'm saving this data as a CSV file. And once data is saved, you can go to the bucket and upload that CSV file here. Here is employees.csv file, and upload that file. My S3 operation is done. So if you see that I have Amazon S3, and Prabhakar demo is the bucket name, and inside that I have an employees.csv file. So I can keep any name inside a CSV file. So we can put some include and ignore conditions inside the Glue, so that it will accept only the .csv files as per our requirement. Now go to Athena. Okay, so instead of going to the Athena, as I said, go to the AWS Glue. Okay, here is AWS Glue. So here I'm going to create a table and a table schema. So in order to point to S3 data here. So I have a tables, and I have a crawlers, and at the same time I have databases. Okay. So here, if you go to the database part, okay, so here I'm creating the database, and I'm giving the database name. Okay, I can ignore that the database. So while creating the table or while creating the crawler itself, so it will point me to select the data or select the and create the database also. So add a crawler here. This crawler is nothing but, so it will crawl the data from your S3, and based on the available data, so it will create a table and table schema for you. So here I'm using the crawler name is Prabhakar and the crawler, and I have some additional information like a tag, so where I can go and then I can specify the tag information here. And security configuration is not required as of now, so I can go ahead and then click next. And here there are two types of source types. I can define that. Okay, one is existing data catalog tables, so that so if your data is in DynamoDB, or if the data is in any of RDS, so I can go ahead and then configure it here so that instead of fetching the data from the CSV, I can fetch the data from the DB itself. So if I choose the data store here, so I can go ahead and then I can configure the S3 here. So it will support three types of data stores. One is a JDBC, and the second one is a DynamoDB and the S3. So if I choose the DynamoDB, if I have a DynamoDB and where it is a NoSQL database, and I already covered one topic on this, so I can specify the link into below in the description. How to create a DynamoDB, how to perform the NoSQL operations on that. So, and I'm choosing here as S3, and a connection type is not required here. So, and if I want, I can specify the connections like what kind of VPC and what kind of network I have to use it. So public or private subnet, or so any customizable VPC and all. So, and here, what is the path you have to include that? Okay, so my if you go here and if you check that, okay, my S3 path is here is a Prabhakar-demo. Go here and you can specify the bucket name here like S3 Prabhakar demo. Okay, so here you don't require to specify the file name here, and there are certain patterns are available. You can exclude that. Okay, by mistake if someone is copied any txt file or exe file, so I can ignore that and I can consider only CSV files on that. Okay, I can also use something like a star.csv, so that it will extract only .csv files. It is not mandatory always you keep only one CSV file, so you can keep n number of files, and it will do the crawling, and then accordingly we can perform the operations on all CSV files. Go to next, and here add another data store. So as of now I don't require to add another data store here. Go next, and here what I can do, so I can create a I'm a rule here, so that if I want to perform any operations on AWS on S3, so I need a S3 read access, so in order to read the data and in order to search the data inside S3. For that I can choose any of the existing role here. Okay, so like so I have created a S3 new role. So other than that, so I also go ahead here and I can create a new role here. For example, if I use Prabhakar and S3 and S3 read access. Okay, so and I'm going to create that access for this path. Okay, so Prabhakar-demo is my bucket name, and go to next. And here is at what time so you are going to do this kind of crawling. There are certain types of frequency like hourly, daily, or custom, so and run on demand. So if I say my customer is frequently pushing the data, okay, on every week or every month or daily, so I can specify daily and a specific timestamp here. So based on this given preference, then accordingly it will do the auto crawling, and it will update the data and the crawling and the tables accordingly. So as of now, I'm choosing it as on demand. So as I require, so I can go ahead and then I can run it. So, and if I click next, okay, so and here, so it is prompting me to specify the database name here. And I don't have any databases here. So that's why I can click here, add a database. And the database name, I'm giving it as employee database. And the additional location and other options, I can ignore that because these are optional. And after adding the database, okay, and let's assume, so here is the data, okay, so name, city, and the salary, okay, which we have. And so here, if I want to add any prefix for the table name, so I can add some prefix on this. For example, emp underscore. So it will add the prefix as emp underscore the followed by the table name. And this is again the optional here. And the grouping behavior, this is again optional. For example, so inside my S3 bucket, I have 1000 S3 files are there. So I can create as a single schema file, so that so instead of creating the multiple tables, I can create only single table for the entire S3 path, given path for one any specific bucket, so that I can perform the operations on all S3 files as a single operation. Okay, so as of now, not required for that. And coming to the configuration part, okay, these are some kind of high level configurations like so whenever so as of now, if you see that I have a name, city, and salary, and tomorrow this salary, if I say salary is, so then it will automatically detect the changes inside your CSV file. Then accordingly, it will adjust the your table schema. So for that, these are the configurations are required. But at this for this demo, so I'm ignoring that. We don't require for that. And go to next. And here is output and some review page. And if you can see finish. So now I have successfully created a crawler. So if you go to the database, and database and the tables are not listed here because the crawler is just created, but I haven't run it because I have selected crawler frequency as run on demand. So that's why it hasn't created any table and databases. So what I can do, I can select this and I can say run crawler. Okay. Once you say run crawler, so current status is ready. So, and it is going to be in a starting stage. So now it is a starting. So it will take a couple of seconds to crawl the data and to create the tables and to create the database. So, and so by that time, what I can do, I can refresh it. And now its a status is stopping. That means that Cravel successfully executed and it did all the required jobs. So now if I go to the databases, I can see that, okay, here is a database which I have created. And here are the set of tables which I have created as a part of this Craveler job. So now if you open this table, so here you can see that, okay, it will automatically detect that, okay, there are 3 columns inside of my CSV file. Okay, here is my CSV name, city, and salary. And based on its data, so it will automatically detect the data type and its values. So partition key is nothing but, so if I want to perform operations onto the different partitions, I can create a multiple partitions inside Athena, and then I can do the operations on it. So I will cover this partition part, how to create a multiple partitions and execute Athena queries on top of existing partitions in the next video. So here, this is how you can get the table information, and you can also edit the table. And if you want to edit the schema, you can go here, and instead of using big int, so what I can say, I can specify any type of data here, like you want to put a string, the small int or interval, or so any type of data you can specify it as per your requirement. Okay, and at the same time, and you can also edit the table here. Okay, so inside a table, so these are the set of table properties, and these properties also you can edit it as per your requirement. So once this kind of changes are done now, so I have created a S3 bucket, Prabhakar-demo, and inside that I have kept employees.csv file, and where I kept, so there are total 9 records are there. And after that, once the data is copied, so then inside a glue, so I have created a crawler as a part of crawler creation. So I have pointed my crawler to the S3. So okay, so here is the, if I go here and edit the crawler, so here you can see that, okay, go to the next, okay, here is the S3 part which I have pointed that, and also I have created a database for that. So, and my crawler creation is done, then the tables are created, and the database is also created, and schema also populated, so inside a crawler itself. Now it's a time to go to the Athena. So you can go to the services Athena, and inside Athena you can find that. So here, if you see that, okay, so this is the thing which I have created. This is the demo. So here I can see there are three columns are there. So if I want to perform any operations on this, okay, let's take an example. And here is a data on my S3. And if I want to create a table on top of that, in a new table, I can click on the create table, and from the S3 bucket or from the Glue Crawler. So I want to create from the S3 bucket or Glue Crawler or maybe SQL query. So if I click on the SQL query, what I can say, so here it will automatically create generate a SQL query for me. So I can use this query and I can modify it as per my requirement, and I can point it to the respective S3 location. Okay. And another option is that, so if I use create a table as select, okay, so this is also I can do it so as per my requirement. And another option is that, okay, so here if I go here and then create a table from my S3 bucket. So in S3, so what kind of data, which I don't know because I have a very huge amount of data in case. So what I can say, I can go here and then I can create a table by using S3 data. Okay, same we did it inside a Crawler. So this is also possible with the help of Athena on this. And now here is my data. Okay, so here is my data on my S3. This data I have uploaded, and then I created a table by using Glue Crawlers. Now it's a time to do some kind of SQL query operations on this. If I click on the preview table, so here is a query so which I have prepared, and now this query is not executed. Because why? Because we don't have any output. So whenever I'm executing a query, so it will generate some output, and then for storing that output, I have to actually specify the output folder, okay, where I need to store this information. Okay, so for doing that, so here I'm using that. Okay, here is the path. I can specify that. Now go to S3, and here, so I'm going to create a bucket. Okay, bucket name is my bucket. Okay, hyphen logs 123. Okay, and create the bucket. Now the bucket is successfully created for storing the output logs here. And now if I go here and then so if you see that I have executed this query, and by due to some configuration my query did not execute it. So for such queries, okay, AWS will not charge for you. And if your query is succeed, or if you terminate your query in between, then only it will charge, and based on the number of data you are processing. Okay, if you run that query again, so here you can see that, okay, here is the data which you have uploaded onto the S3. So this is how you can get the data, and on top of this data, so still I need to perform some more operations. Like if you say that here you can click on the plus symbol, you can add a new query, and the previous query I'm copying here from that. Okay, or there is another option. Okay, so you can say select, I want to find out number of employees by city. So if I say city comma count star from, and here is my DB. Okay, you can double click on the DB. Okay, so you can put a double quotes inside that dot, and table name. What is the table name of the table? Okay, here you can find the name of the table. Employee database is a database name, and the table name Prabhakar-demo is the table name. Okay, you can copy that. Here is my database name, and paste it here dot, and here you can use group by city. So if I run that query again, so here you can find that, okay, so Pune there are 2 employees, Hyderabad there are 2 employees, and then other cities there are only 1 employees. So I can go ahead and then I can modify the data, and again, so I can rerun the Crawler so that it will crawl the data, it will sync the data. And on top of that, so I can also apply some where conditions here. So now I have executed a multiple queries here, like around 2 queries I have executed. So if I go to the history of the queries, okay, I can find that, okay, so these are the set of queries I have executed. and this much of data is processed. And this much of seconds actually took for the execution, and these are the 4 queries which got succeed and 2 queries which got failed, and why those 2 queries got failed. So here the error logs also you can find that, and any of the data which is processed successfully, you can go here and then download the result. Okay, so if you go ahead and then download the result, and you can find the result in a Excel format. Okay, so here is the result for Athena executed query. So this is how I can also download the result by executed for executed SQL queries. And a saved queries is nothing but, so this is the query inside of my query editor. Here is a query, suppose, which I'm going to execute multiple times. So what I can do here, I can specify the, I can save that query. For example, here is my demo hyphen query. Okay, so and you can save this query. So like if I put again a demo query, save the query. And once you save the query, and if you go to the saved queries, you can find that the query details here. Here is my demo query, which I have shared. And I can copy this query again. So I can copy it and then I can rerun and execute that. Okay. So, and if you double click on the query, okay, that query will directly come here, and then you can go here and then you can run it. Okay. So you can save the multiple queries, and at the same time, and if you go to the data sources, there is another option also available inside a data store. So what I can do inside this data store, and we can connect this Athena can connect it. Here are the set of data stores we have connected. For example, I need to create only one Athena instance, and that can be pointed to the multiple data stores. Multiple data source, like one is S3 and one is in somewhere in the DynamoDB. So I can list it down here, okay, which are the data stores are listed down here. And so also on top of that, I can go here and then connect a data store. So here I can specify that, okay. So here I can use Apache Hive metadata store, or maybe I can use the S3. So then I can go ahead and then I can create a connection for the data source here, and I can use the multiple data source inside Athena. Okay, and this work group is nothing but some kind of segregation between the whether you are using it for the demo or the UAT or the production. That kind of work group separation we can do it in terms of team level, user level, or application level, as well as environment level. So yes, yeah, so we have covered all the points, and I hope you enjoy the video. And so I hope you get the chance to work on Athena, Glue, and then S3 operations. And thanks for watching this video.